Hello, my friends. We're going to dive into a topic that is crucial to any relationship, and that is understanding your spouse. Understanding your spouse encourages and it nurtures trust, love, and intimacy. Let us explore 8 ways to learn how to be more understanding to your spouse. Let's have this conversation. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. I am Doran, and this is Not Easily Broken. Number 1, show interest in your spouse. Show interest in them. I believe that no one should be more interesting to you than the person you are doing life and marriage with. Listen, my friend, my wife and I, we've been married for 29 years, and there's no one in the world that I'm more interested in than my wife. And of course, we've been through different seasons of our marriage, but showing interest in her, making her feel like she is the best thing that ever happened to my life. I can't see anything, man. I mean, think about it. You're doing life with this person. Both of you guys are living together. You're sharing life together, for better, for worse, for sickness and in health, until death do us part. I can't see anyone that is more interesting and more captivating, more mesmerizing, more desirable than the person that you are doing life with. Listen, when you are investing in your relationship, when you are investing in your marriage, when you are investing in your wife, you're investing in your husband, you're going to show interest in them. If you are a husband, I tell men this all the time, that a man will not protect what he's not investing in. If you are investing in your wife, you're going to protect her. She's going to become the most valuable person to you outside of your relationship with God. You should make your spouse feel good. You should make her feel excited to come home to you. You should make that man desire to be with you. Show interest in each other. Find out what they like. Find out how they're doing throughout the day. You got to find ways to add value to each other's lives. Why did you decide to marry them? What was the reason why you chose to make this man your husband or chose to make this woman your wife? Number 2, try to understand their point of view. Listen, my friend, you must remember that your spouse has their own unique experiences and perspectives. Yes, they do. We all don't see the world the same way. My wife don't agree with my viewpoints on everything, but we love each other. We understand each other's viewpoint and we respect each other. So when your partner share their feelings and their thoughts, try to see it from their perspective. See it from their point of view. That is a great way to really understand your spouse a lot better. This does not mean that the both of you guys are going to agree with everything. No, simply acknowledging their perspective can make a world of difference in understanding your spouse. It makes them feel confident that their opinion counts when it matters the most. Number 3, practice active listening. This means entirely focusing on your spouse. Active listening means that you are engaged, you are present, and you are in the moment. It means that you're going to turn off your phone. Yeah. You're going to put down the phone and you're going to lean into them. You're going to forget about social media for a moment, especially when they are talking to you about something that is really critical and important. You have to lean in. You have to be there. You have to be present and in the moment. You have to find out exactly what they are saying by listening. Listening is not a skill that you're born with. Listening is the skill that we need to develop. And most people hear, but they're not really listening. When you take the time to listen, you're saying to your spouse, I see you. I hear you. I want to understand you. I want to learn more and know more about what you're saying, what you are thinking. I learned something by reading this book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. In that book, it talks about it that during a conversation, the person that is speaking is more interested in themselves than they are in you. Even your spouse, during a conversation, they want to show interest in what they have to say. You have to make sure that you give them the opportunity to feel valued. Listen to them. To feel important. Listen to them. Give your spouse the attention that they deserve. Number 4, never assume anything. Listen, my friend, assuming can be a dangerous trap for you. If you want to destroy your marriage, I listen, it's the easiest way to erode great friendship, to destroy great fellowship and great communication. You don't need to assume anything. Just ask question. I mean, of course, I know you probably want to fill the gap here and there, but when you try to fill the gap without getting the proper information, it often leads to misunderstanding, miscommunication, and you missed opportunity, right, for a deeper bond, for a deeper connection with your spouse. Assuming is the easiest way for your spouse to lose trust in you. Don't try to assume what you don't know. Find out the information, but never assume anything. Number 5, never cut your spouse off during a conversation. Cutting off your spouse during a conversation, it is rude and it is also dismissive. It indicates that you are more interested in your own thoughts and in your own opinion than hearing what your spouse has to say. This can make the conversation one-sided and it impede healthy communication. Interrupting can also mean that you think that your words or what you have to say is more important than what your spouse has to say. It can make you look selfish, and it can also make your spouse think that you are a very rude and egotistical person. If you have something to say in the middle of a conversation, you can inject such as raising your hand and saying, "Hey, babe, listen, can I say something?" Or, "May I add to this? May I add to that?" The reality is that you need to learn how to communicate to understand each other. You communicate to connect. You communicate to solve problems. That's why we communicate. Number 6, be patient. See, understanding often takes time. It's okay to ask questions if you are confused about something. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Remember that it is not about winning an argument. It is about understanding each other better. It is about finding ways to solve problems and connect with each other on a level that is deeper, a level that you work hard to build. The idea is to get better at being a good spouse. And understanding your spouse is a great way to become a better spouse. Number 7, show empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feeling of your spouse. And they go through problems, they go through situation. Empathy involves recognizing your spouse's emotions. It is about putting yourself in your spouse's shoe and experiencing to some degree what they are feeling, what they're going through. You know what, babe? Wow, I can just only imagine what you're feeling right now. It's really putting yourself there. And when your spouse is going through difficult times and troubling situation, nothing is more valuable to them than knowing that they have a spouse who is showing their support, who is showing empathy, someone that is right there with them while they are going through. Empathy is also a great way to build emotional bond and connection with your spouse. Empathy is considered an essential skill for effective interpersonal communication. It is a vital part of building a successful relationship and marriage. Number 8, pray for understanding. Yeah, I know. What does prayer have to do? It has everything to do with understanding your spouse. A matter of fact, as a Christian, I believe that there are times when our spouse are going through situation, or that there might be differences between the two of you guys and conflicts and arguments that you don't necessarily have the answer to it. But you can ask God to give you guidance. You can ask God for understanding, for wisdom and knowledge to deal with situations, to deal with your spouse. Some spouses are very difficult to deal with, very difficult to navigate the different things and problems in the marriage. Understanding your spouse, it's about maturity. It is about growth. It's about understanding the differences between the two of you and come to an amicable agreement as to how you can navigate through life together. In Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, it tells us to trust in the Lord thy God with all our heart. We must lean not on our own understanding, and in all our ways, we must acknowledge him. We must acknowledge God in our problems. We must acknowledge God when we are going through situations. We must acknowledge God when we are troubled. And the Bible said that God will direct our path. There is a pathway for greater, more successful relationship. There is a pathway to a better, successful life. And I believe that it starts with God. I believe it's the foundation of any success that you want to achieve in your life. And I believe that, especially in a marriage, there is no better way for you to build a successful marriage than to making sure that God is at the foundation of it. A great way for you to give God access to your marriage and access to your problem is through communication. And how do you communicate with God? It's through prayer. That's why it is so important for us to pray, to ask God for help and guidance in our journey in marriage. And my friend, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for watching. And if this video adds some value to you, then please do us a favor and give us a thumbs up, man. Hit that thumb up button, hit that like button. If you consider this video worthy, then you can share it to someone that might benefit from it. And remember that we are in this journey together, helping each other to build marriages that are not easily broken. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not hit that subscribe button. Again, thank you for watching. May God continue to bless you, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.